welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Well, we're back. The B Team Podcast, episode number
3.
Trace.
We made it.
Trace.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Whoa. The lights just went down. We didn't pay the electric bills.
It has that effect. When I come into a room, the lights flicker.
Well, you got a lot of effects when you come into a room. That would not be one I'm proud of. Well, we're going to start today with our favorite B, which is bourbon. So, Max, you don't have a choice here. But, Rob, what are we drinking today?
Well, let me pass out these beautiful red Solo cups.
We've classed it up.
Yeah, I mean, we know the quality of bourbon we're going to be getting, probably.
And what are we drinking?
So, this right here is right out of Bar Nelson.
Oh.
Matt told me to bring something special, so I grabbed one off the shelf.
You may want to drink this one first, because I don't trust you, quite honestly. You may want to, I don't know.
Seriously?
I mean,
I've seen this on my bar before.
I have, but I don't know what
only special stuff goes in here.
Special stuff?
Yeah. I mean, Matt said bring something good, so I brought something good. Calm down.
Max, you're very lucky here. You get something good today. Are you a bourbon drinker?
No, more beer.
Well, today, this is beer.
Pretend it's beer.
Pretend it's beer.
Oh, it's nice. Want to smell?
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have you sip it first, though, because I feel like there's some kind of joke today that you're playing in the...
Would we do that?
Yes.
Serious.
I feel like the cool kids are the bourbon drinkers, so...
Yeah. Those smell nice.
She's a beat.
Don't give Max too much, because I don't want him to be so loopy that he can't talk about his doggy dog business.
I think it's the Solo cup that helps.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Now, what is that, though? What are we drinking? Just Bar Nelson Special?
Mm-hmm.
And this really classes it up.
It's good.
Okay. What is this?
What do you mean? It's bourbon.
Try.
Okay, so Rob and I didn't have much to drink of it. Basically, what we do is at Bar Nelson,
Oh, this is
anytime we have a drain pour, we put it in the infinity bottle, and that's how. So then,
wow,
this is like old fashioned. This is what you use when you make old fashions and stuff.
I was going to say, it wasn't my favorite tasting one, and I saw the tiny amount of a sip out of you guys. Wow, Max,
I don't know much about bourbon. It kind of tasted like Jim Beam to me.
Wow, I'm glad we did this one first today.
I mean, there's probably 6 or 7. Here's the good thing, though.
There's a good thing with this?
Here's the good news. There's not that much bad bourbon on my bar. So it's just a good concoction of about 10 mediocre bourbon. Yeah. We thought that if we got enough of those in there, they'd cancel each other out.
Make it a good bourbon.
I'm not going to lie. I got nervous when I saw the bottle, and I'm like, there's something funky going on here.
It's hard to pull one over on him. Did you see how quick he caught on to it? I think when the cups came out and then he's like, we got problems.
It's good when I know my co-host and our permanent guest that they're always up to something.
See, at the end, I would sit here and drink this. It would be okay.
We probably all will.
We're drinking, are we kidding? All right, well, thank you.
That'll put air in.
As the permanent guest, you lived up to your expectations of being mediocre, because that was nothing great.
I mean, it's terrible.
Idea.
It's terrible.
It is.
It was just as bad as I remember.
Yeah.
All right, well, the first B did not go so well today, so the B for business.
But it was funny. For you.
Funny.
For you and I.
I didn't chuckle, but... So our second B is focused on Bentonville and business. That's actually a second and third, and we have Max Bachman with a B.
With a B.
With a B. Now, Max, I know you a long time. Before we hear about your business, though, Matt was telling me that he knew you a bit. He recognized your voice. He said that you were the radio DJ at his college and go by the name of Max Volume. So can you introduce yourself?
Did you really know that? Did you know that?
No.
Or is that okay?
Yeah. But I'm excited to hear the story.
Yeah.
So we want to hear you introduce yourself in your best radio voice.
That was years ago, and I was actually ashamed. People asked me what was my radio name, and I won't tell them to this day because I didn't get a picket. and I would have never picked it, but it was fun. It was a blast. So KK years ago down in Fayetteville, I DJ'd there for a number of years when I was a student.
So give us your best, like,
I don't have that was 30 plus years ago.
Welcome.
No.
This is
volume. I used to do funny things. So like if it was raining, like I would say, I'd make these little innuendos, like, don't forget your raincoat tonight. And that was to, that was to Marvin's kicking in now. That was to my male friends,
He was like Frank the Tank was, or he got back on.
Yeah, so I would try to sneak in little things, but I got my first day. I went in and I apprenticed. I was very young, and this was kind of back when they were transitioning from LPs to CDs, and I didn't know anything. I started at 16 years old, so I literally knew nothing. And, I was in there apprenticing one night. It was like a Friday night. And the station manager says, "It's yours." He walks out and leaves. And there's this clock ticking down, 3 minutes to get the next song queued up. And it was like in the S's or something and everything, there's records this long with S's. And I panicked and grabbed the first CD, No Dead Air. And I put it on, and it was the most kind of explicit thing that could go on.
Oh, nice.
And the whole building's running in there trying to hit eject before they got fined. That was my first day.
And your last.
I lasted. No, I lasted. It was fun.
Well, that's good. And I did my homework. See that? You guys didn't know I did my homework for you guys.
So what years did you do this?
This was started in probably around 87.
So you were like 4 at the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually 10.
10, okay.
Yeah,
so you didn't listen to the explicit radio shows.
Yeah.
Well, Max, welcome. I am excited to hear about Canine Resorts. It is a really cool concept that's coming to Northwest Arkansas. Nothing like this here. I guess tell us a little bit about what the business model is and how did you and your amazing wife, Dawn, come up with this idea?
Yeah, and so everyone asks me, like, what do I do for a day job? I'm an accountant. So I'm like the fullest guy in the room. But like I've always sort of been an entrepreneur at heart, always wanted to own my own business or run a business in some form or fashion, but I've always worked for very large companies. And really I had to do that to be able to afford to be able to put myself and my family in a position with my wife, as well to do something. And as I was getting a little bit older and during COVID, had more time to think, how did I want to diversify investments and what did I want to do outside of the stock market? And really felt like now was the time in my life to do something more on that entrepreneurial side. And luckily she fully supports me. And I knew I had to find a business that she could get excited about as well, especially, when you're going into a venture, it takes the family.
Yeah,
it really does. And especially when we both work and, our 2 dogs, we had gotten 2 dogs during COVID, like a lot of people. And as people were coming back to work and we started thinking about, what are they doing with their dogs, and then our own experiences, and really just our community. I mean, so many people would come up to us and ask us about our dogs. Where do we groom our dogs? Where do we board our dogs? And we just started listening to what people were saying in the community and our own experiences. We wanted to do something different. I never thought I would be in the dog business, ever.
You're doing a dog walking business, is that correct?
No, that's how it's sort of started as far as like the idea. But started doing a lot of research, worked with the company to try to put me in touch with investors. Just wasn't happy with what I found, and we wanted to do what we would consider sort of luxury, but something that focused on the health and safety of the pet. We really didn't think that was anything that was around here. Mm-hmm. Got lucky, found a franchise out of New Jersey. Jersey, yep. And flew out there, did my due diligence, and just fell in love with the brand. It's all about the health and safety of the pet. And that's really what got us moving. And we've been working on this for about 2.5 years.
So is it grooming? Is it daycare? Is it overnight? What is it?
Daycare and boarding, no grooming, although we do bathing. So our philosophy is we don't do anything. We try not to do anything that we feel that the dogs don't like to do or associate with they don't want to be there. And so if you're thinking from a vet, you're going to get shots, you're going to get poked, you're going to get prodded. Grooming, a lot of dogs, I mean, it's a little intrusive. You're standing on a table with the clipped in, and so we just stay away from all that. So it's just daycare and boarding.
So it says pet hotel. So like if I was going to board my dog somewhere right now, like What is this going to be the luxury piece on this?
Yeah. So I mean,
I got to read now.
You're
asking a lot here.
Pictures.
This is like dropping the dogs off at the grandparents' house.
It is.
They get all the fun stuff.
It is literally a resort.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, like a resort for humans, that's really what we go after, is we really focus on that, you know, that great experience for the customer and then also for the dog. But so the pictures sell ourselves because it literally is like a resort, you know, a hotel. The primary difference is if you've ever boarded dogs, most places are just kind of big open spaces. And the issue that can arise with dogs from a health perspective is airborne. You know, outside of a dog that's aging or has medical problems, but airborne, that's kind of what the main problems are. And we build our facilities a little different than everybody. So we zone our facilities off. We've got 5 primary zones. Anywhere that you board a dog or you have daycare, that's considered a zone. And every zone has its own independent hospital-grade HVAC system. And then we recharge the air 15 times per hour. So medical standards says, hey, you need to do that about 10 to 12. We exceed medical standards. We do that 15 times. And then we use HEPA filtration. We've got dehumidifiers in every single room as well. We use UV lighting systems in every room as well. And then we keep the temperature down to try to keep all that bacteria out. And then, you know, you couple that, we soundproof all of our zones as well, which is something completely different. So I could have, you know, well over 100 dogs in our facility throughout, and you could be in my lobby and you bet me the Super Bowl I was lying to you. And so I said, come on, let me go show you. Wow. So it's everything around trying to reduce those triggers, have high quality air for the dogs, and then superb training for your staff. And when you put all that together, that's how we separate ourselves from a lot of what you may be accustomed to.
I mean, I'm looking at this, and I've traveled quite a bit. This room in here with the chandelier, this looks better than half the hotel rooms I've stayed in. That's,
you know, on Sundays when I need to get away from my 2 girls because they're screaming at me for having football on or having a basketball game on, I know where I'm going.
It's like the Ritz-Carlton. It's nice.
Yeah, those
really nice.
So we offer what you're speaking of, Josh. That's an 8-foot by 8-foot luxury suite right there. That's our most private accommodation. Again, that's its own zone.
Look at this. That's insane.
Its own zone. You can put up to 4 dogs within the same family within that room, or 250 pounds. So maybe these 2 dudes here.
Well, Rob and I each need 2 rooms.
Joining rooms where you knocked it.
That was pretty kind of you.
So I was going to ask you a question. If by chance Rob and Angie got into an argument, just hypothetically, and all the hotel rooms were booked up in the air,
would I take Rob?
Could he get a room?
Well, you know, we throw in a vest and put him to work.
There you go.
I don't know that you want that.
Yeah. You wouldn't get much out of that one.
Yeah, that would be a bad ROI for you.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be out there scooping.
Yeah. One thing that I've not found anywhere in Northwest Arkansas, so for multi-dog families, we do a 50% discount for each additional dog that are staying in the same accommodation. The highest I've seen in this area is about 18%, and most places are about 5 to 10%. And then what I'm finding with a lot of competition is their upper, mostly, you know, they're what they consider their top room, they don't even do discounts on those. So that's something a little bit, multi-dog families really drive that value for them.
Where is you located?
We are right off of Pleasant Grove Road and just west of Highway 49.
Oh, nice. So it's very easy
close
to get to.
Yeah, very close. Right in between, there's a lot of neighborhoods between 49, just right down Pleasant Grove. And then I was actually kind of surprised, but I'm getting phone calls from people that live in Pineville, Missouri, and southern Missouri that use X&A as an airport, and that will be driving right by our facility and asking to board their dogs at our facility.
These big luxury rooms, how many are you going to have of those?
So of the luxury suites, I only have 6. And then our mid-tier, which is right in the middle here, those are 5-foot by 7-foot custom accommodations, and I've got 44 of those.
Wow.
And then I've got smaller units that I call traditional accommodations. Those are really for your small dogs that are used to crate training, or if you've got a puppy that you need to, you don't want to lose your crate training, potty training while you're going on vacation. And those go up to 100 pounds.
Now, do you guys, you might have already said this, but do you guys also do any Do you have trainers or anything?
We don't do any training, although from a staff perspective, I think that's where we kind of go all in. So we're not, I always tell people, we're not there to train your dog, but we are there. We will reinforce hopefully the training that our owners have already done. Yeah. And so, but from a training perspective for staff, all of my staff are certified in pet CPR and first aid. We do infectious disease and control training for all of our staff.
What is pet CPR?
How do you
go back a second?
So you would think CPR to human, right? That's one thing. But on a dog, there's actually procedures on how to give CPR to a dog. So you lay a dog on its side, close its mouth, and you breathe through its nose, and you compress. You can press on the side.
If Rob was to lay on the ground right
can
now,
I demonstrate? I can show you how to do it. Right, as the instructor, I'll instruct you on how to.
Wow.
Oh, and they're right together. Right?
Wow.
They could maybe try it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we do a lot of dog behavioral training. So, for instance, if you think of dogs like what's appropriate, what's not from a behavior standpoint within a daycare room. There's 6 basic types of personalities of dogs. And so really what I want my staff to be able to do is to be able to recognize those personalities and the behaviors that go with that. And so you've got what I call aggressive, and that's really what you don't want in your facility because they're the top dog. They're going to want to come in there, and if they're challenged from another aggressive dog, it's just in their instinct.
Right.
They're going to find their spot in that room. And then you've got very confident dogs, and then you've got kind of outgoing. You've got very adaptable dogs. So you're trying to hit that sweet spot.
What kind of dog are you? Are you the aggressive one or are you the territorial?
I would say aggressive, confident.
Confident.
Oh, yeah. Did you notice, when we got here?
Yeah.
Now, the first thing Rob had to do was see if he could raise his chair up than everyone else.
That's right. I saw that.
Well, I mean, I'm much taller than both of you, so...
In the chair you are. Whatever.
I mean, now you are because you raised your chair up.
Yeah.
My legs were feeling a little squashed.
We're really looking for that, the 80% of your dogs in that sort of what we call adaptable place. Insecure dogs can cause trouble within a daycare room. It's not their nature to try to be the confident top dog, but if they're challenged, then it's just more from lashing out, hey, give me my space type of thing. Yeah. And then we've got independent dogs. And then we've got a lot of behaviors that go underneath that. Now, certain breeds will fall into certain categories by nature, but most breeds will be within there depending on how they're raised and socialized.
You haven't described Matt or Josh yet.
The overly confident, sexy dogs.
Yeah. No, I would sexy dogs. I would put Josh in kind of that outgoing,
willing to get along though. Yeah, that's kind of.
But he's still he likes to be the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah, he wants to.
Fair. And the Josh show. Give him a little bit of that, and then he's pretty happy.
I do. I'm a happy puppy.
Ready for some more Berber?
Not that stuff. Come on. You have a dog, right?
We did.
Oh,
we did.
I'm sorry.
And don't want to poo-poo on the podcast, but we actually lost our 3-year-old golden doodle while we were away in the Bahamas, and he was being boarded at the time. And
like, this is recent new news?
About a year ago. Close to a year. Yeah, a year ago next month. Yeah. So, yeah, like you hit home on a lot of real important things that I think no one else is doing around here at least.
It's definitely top of mind. So what's top of mind for me is
all good. But you know what though? It happens.
And that's the thing that as soon as you started talking about all
we were
that,
looking at each other.
The ball got dropped on so many levels on their situation, and it's like it is just a terrible deal. Yeah. I mean, it's top of mind for me though, in making sure that my staff is fully trained and aware, and that we're putting a good team together. I let someone go after 3 days just because I could tell that they didn't have the demeanor to manage dogs properly.
You fired your wife?
Already.
Oh boy.
3 days on the job.
Wow. Dawn, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's like,
and I don't think it was anyone's fault, but I think there could have been things that could have been done to maybe save them, maybe not. It's just one of those things.
It
was tough.
What's one of the things is our location. So I'm super happy where our location is, we've got a vet 3 doors down if we ever needed a situation. And sometimes it's when people are gone, especially if you bring a dog in that's got a skin condition, or we do what's called body checks. So this is where I think we sort of separate ourselves, is that the health and happiness, that's it. That's everything about what we try to do for our guests, for our pet parents. And so for when you're boarding, the first thing that we do when we get your dog is we place the dog in its accommodation, we let the dog settle down, but then we go in and we do what's called a body check. So we check that dog from nose to tail. We look in its ears, we look at its eyes, we look in its gums, and then we're documenting anything that we find. And sometimes it's as simple as your dog's got gingivitis, right? But we're going to document that. Right? Or if we find hot spots on its back leg, and if we see anything wrong with that dog, we're going to let you know, hey, by the way, when we did our body check, this is what we noticed. And most of the time someone's going to say, hey, I knew about that. Can you do me a favor? If it gets worse, can you let me know?
Sure.
And we will we'll contact the vet if we have to and take care of that dog, but we're going to look to see what's the pet parent want to do for us. But then we're monitoring your dog while it's under our care. So one of our values is open and honest transportation, or open and honest, transparent communication, because the last thing we want is a pet parent to pick their dog up and get home and notice something without us having a chance to make that right for the pet parent if something were to happen, or to let you know, hey, this is what we're seeing.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome.
And we do that.
I feel bad, man. I didn't know. I wasn't even trying to be funny. That's
no. Look, I mean,
why don't you give me a heads up?
Well, you never talked. I never asked. I was trying to wait to see if you would look at me and be like, so do you have someone there 24/7 with your?
I get 2 questions all the time. This is question number 1: does someone there overnight? And no, we don't. It's industry standard is, that's not industry standard. And so, like, if you've got dogs, what does your dog do at night? Your dog sleeps. And what happens when you get up at night? Your dog gets up. Or what happens if someone in the house gets up? Your dog gets up.
Yeah.
So when you have they're very smart, and so they can hear and sense things. And so if you've got someone in the facility, it's the facility can't settle down to sleep, and they'll know that. So we don't have anyone there, although I've got security cameras and sensors all throughout. And then I live, it's 8 minutes to there from my house. Josh knows where I live. My general manager lives about 3 minutes away. So between the two of us, we've got our facility covered. I get that question all the time. And then the other one I get is, do you have cameras so that I can see my dog? And again, I have cameras. Every square inch of the place is covered, but I don't open the cameras up. 2 things happen. You just field phone calls. And either someone says, hey, I don't like Josh getting that close to my dog. Can you ask Josh to leave? And
happens to me all the time.
Yeah, and he's got that look in his eye. I don't know what it is, but he's got that look. And so, we want you to enjoy your time,
sure,
and gain that trust so that pet parents can. So that's one reason. And then 2 is dogs can play rough, and dogs, if you're doing it right, dogs will match their energy levels. And appropriate play in a room is fine, but if you're from afar, it doesn't always look fine. And so, we just want you to go have a good time.
But you're going to be watching the cameras, right?
I've got a big.
I can only imagine knowing you.
Yeah, it looks like NASA in there.
Clean up in stall number 2. Clean up in stall number 2.
Yeah,
where's that coming from?
We wear radios with earpieces, and so like if you're doing what we call your health and safety check, so we go, we're walking through the building and your dog's going to be in 2 places while it's boarding. It's either going to be in daycare if it's daycare approved. If it's not, it's going to be in what we call private play. And as we walk through the facility,
solitary confinement.
No, not solitary confinement.
I think Josh would like the private play. Well, no, the real reason I was asking about if someone was there was I just didn't know as far as drop-offs for people traveling. Do they just have to schedule times for?
We have scheduled drop-offs for. So boarding is 9 a.m. to 5:30. Those are our times where what we consider drop-offs. Daycare is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the reason that we leave that window is we really only want 1 dog in our lobby at a time. So some of our safety procedures, when we're walking dogs to our facility, we only allow 1 dog in the hallway at a time for a multiple of reasons. Yeah. So a dog can be leash aggressive that comes in and be perfectly fine off leash. But if if a pet parent is in there with their dog and a leash aggressive dog comes in, it can be a disaster if they let them just go right up to the other. And then if you do have, we take dogs that, we say 100% have to be people friendly. But if a dog's not dog friendly, we'll still take the dog as long as it's people friendly. The dog just won't go into daycare. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it goes into private play. And so on our radios, they'll wear a red collar. And so when we're taking the dog outside for private play, we just get on the radio. We notify, we say red collar walking and clear the hallways.
Red collar walking. Clear the hallways. Do you have a red collar, Josh?
I'm going to have to get, I have a red Solo cup with disgusting bourbon in it. I can't wait till we should go the first day when they open and be like, I want to watch one of these debutantes in the community dropping off Fluffy. Mm-hmm. Max, please take good care of my Fluffy. Oh my God. I just can't wait to see your face. And then Fluffy will get put in the room. Fluffy's well taken care of. Max, I want to watch the video of Fluffy. We don't do videos. I can't wait to see your customer service approach. It's going to be a treat.
Look, Josh gives me a hard time because he, the accountant comes out a little bit. Right? I like to check the box on a lot of things. But when it comes to the customer, even in accounting, I say you're performing a service for somebody, they could choose to go somewhere else. And so I always, even the people that work for me today, I said, we're in the customer service business, even when we're doing finance and accounting. Someone's consuming your service. Then you have to take care of them.
Well, and as we all know, this community is small. Reputations are important. One bad review or one bad story, and that could really hurt a business tremendously. And I know you and Don will be great with that. Your customer service will be top notch.
Yeah, it's important. We're very involved as owners. I don't believe it. If you build it, they will come. There's some element of that. People see the facility, they get excited about the facility, but when you're backing the investment, no, you have to be very involved. If it fails, it's on me. It's not on anybody else.
So Rob, can you give Max some advice? Because you've been working with your amazing wife in the same business for many, many years.
Sure.
You also have some advice you can give with you and Carrie. This is Max's first foray into being a business partner with his wife. So to avoid Max sleeping in the spare bedroom or the doghouse or in this 8x whatever it is, what are some good advice you guys can give to Max? Because I've already given him, but he doesn't listen to me.
Yeah. Well, there's no boss except your wife. I'll run the business.
Yeah. No, so far we've been able to make it work. She's, I handle everything on the operations, the construction, and the employee side of it. She handles everything on the marketing side of it. She tells me where to be and when to be, and I say, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And I think that's Ange and I, we both run our business, and we just focus on our strengths. And it sounds like you already have a lot of that figured out. So I don't see Ange out there swinging a hammer. Neither do I, but I was going
to say, no, who's swinging the hammer there?
She likes to say, she's going to, my special role, she'll buy me the golden shovel, but that's what I get's the shovel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you get Emily at some point, you ask her the throwing of the toothbrush story. So we had just started the Gents Place, and we went to go visit another club. We weren't even open yet. I haven't even told you guys the story. We weren't even open yet. And so we're at the club, and she goes, look what this club has, and look what this club has, and look what this club. I have to hear it the whole way home because our club didn't have a lot of this stuff, all the bells and whistles. And the club was in Las Colinas, Texas, and so after finally I'm brushing my teeth and I take the toothbrush and go, I don't want to hear another goddamn word about Las Colinas. And I throw the toothbrush and it smashes and it's one of those batteries are flying everywhere. So,
whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was.
Were you in the doghouse?
If this would have been open, there was no doubt I'd have been sleeping in probably one of the smaller cages. But yeah.
She wouldn't have let you be that comfortable.
No. She would have called you up and said, Max, put him in one of these.
Yeah, the tradition.
I'd be in the traditional. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, I couldn't. Carrie and I don't think would. I think we would be fine working together some, but she likes to have her. Okay, really, we wouldn't. She likes me to. She's just as happy when Monday comes as I am sometimes for me to be gone for the day. But Carrie's a big personality. Yeah, she is, and she's obviously would probably run everything better than I do, but I don't ever want her to know that.
I'm sure she's not watching this right now.
She will be there.
Yeah.
We're at the comments. She's typing comments as we speak right now. She's like, Rob gets to stay. Don't kick him off. Make him permanent.
We're at that stressful time at the tail end. I think this is by far the most stressful time of everything. You've got a full staff of employees, large payroll, bank payments due, and you have no money coming in.
Oh yeah,
like nothing,
no revenue,
zero.
It'll turn quick for you though. Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to crush it.
Yeah, we hope so. Everyone we've talked to has been, very supportive, and that's the other thing that I really like about this community is, and yes, it's a franchise, but it's owned by 2 local individuals that grew up here, deep roots in this community,
and you're going to be working it.
Yeah.
But we struggled with that when we opened. Everyone goes, "Oh, don't go to get your haircut at Jen's place. It's another franchise." I'm like, yes, but all the owners and all the sweat equity is here. So don't let anybody say all the franchise. I mean, yes, it's a name and you pay royalties and all the other stuff, but you are the owner and all the work's being done here locally.
Yeah. I mean, I would have never dreamed, I've certified myself in boarding. I've got 2 boarding certifications.
Can you do the CPR on the dogs?
Oh, yes. Certified in dog CPR and first aid. Certified in infectious disease.
I'm bringing my dog over later to watch some CPR with you.
Do they have like when you do human CPR, the dummies? Do they have
no
dog dummy?
Yeah, no, they don't.
Otherwise known as the rock.
No. Although a guy out of California had a great idea, and I've never seen this anywhere, and it was brilliant. So in our dog daycare rooms, we've got procedures and collars where we put the dog's name, etc. But if you've got a lot of dogs in a large dog daycare room, and especially as a new business, the first dog to go, that's kind of stressful, because if you've got 30 dogs in there and you're calling back to the pet care tech to, there's usually a couple texts back there and you're saying, hey, Roscoe's got to go. And
Roscoe's got to go.
That's my dog's name.
Yeah. Well, you got to find Roscoe. And so
he's a healer, so he would be the one.
Generally, the dogs there's usually about 5 to 6 dogs that just wear you out all day. And you know their names real quick. Right? And usually they have some nicknames. All right. But outside of that, this guy had this brilliant idea. He's like, why not have a collar so that at the front desk, you just push the button and the collar just lights up. It's kind of like the restaurant business. And I've never heard this before, and this isn't anywhere. I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's, the pet care tech in the back, he's got we want that, we want to get the dog harnessed up into the owner as quick as possible.
But not zapping the dog.
No.
Just make it zapping.
I could see the comments.
No zapping. I'm just helping them out.
Lighting.
Yeah, but lighting up means like, I'm going to light somebody up. We're not lighting them up that way.
Just have another sip of bourbon.
Yeah.
I can't drink any more of that.
I know, it's making him angry.
So yeah, and then the other thing that I find myself doing a lot more is just really studying dog behavior and personalities. Like I just never would have thought this is what I'd be spending my time on.
That's awesome. I don't think, looking from the outside in, I mean, I would think it's an advantage that both of you have a franchise, because they can at least tell you a lot of the things that they've done wrong, and then you hone in on what you don't like about what
they do. But what happens is the local community go, oh, don't go there. They're a franchise. Come support a small business local owner. It's like it's the same thing. So
but when you look at this place, it's. I mean, you guys have put your heart and soul and a lot of dollar bills into there.
Several.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
So are you membership based?
We are not membership based.
Okay. So how's it work?
So, well, I mean, it's all your like boarding and it all works kind of the same. And so you've got your boarding rate, and then depending on where you go, places will offer some sort of discount for a multi-dog family. And like I said, that varies. We do 50%. And no one else does that. You won't find that anywhere else. Now, they have to be within the same family and within the same accommodation.
Oh, so we can't. Roscoe and Kevin can't go there together.
You know,
you look the other way sometimes. There's the accounting in black and white.
Yeah, I gotta follow the brand standards.
Yeah. He's like, I would love to do that. The franchise doesn't allow it.
Gotta follow the brand standards.
See, you push your rate off.
Push it off. Not my fault. That's local small business owner.
So I'm sure all the viewers that are watching this right now, they're asking, like, can you give a range for the different levels, or are you still working that?
No, pricing set. Like if you go to our website's pretty impressive, and that is one of the advantages. And something that we really enjoy about this franchise is the corporate side of the franchise. They're not large enough where you're just a number in the ocean.
Sure.
They're small enough where the full team is at our support. And so our website is phenomenal.
Okay.
But all our pricing's out there. So our luxury suites, which are the 8x8 completely in custom rooms
With the chandeliers.
with the chandeliers in the upgraded beds and the TVs, etc. Those are $94 a night.
That's cheap.
And then our executive suites, which are 5x7, are $81 a night. And so for a multi-dog, so it's $81 or $40, and then $40.50.
That's a great deal.
And then our traditionals, our singles are $59, and our doubles are $66. So right now, as part of our grand opening, it's the only time I'll ever offer pre-opening specials, but I am running boarding packages for grand opening at 25% off. And so that's a great deal. So people right now are starting to buy those. They know they've got travel coming up this year. They know they're going to use the nights, and you can buy a 5-day or a 10-day, one per dog in your family.
So you buy them ahead of time.
Yeah. Just like,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
And how long are they good for?
Well, corporate says six months,
Okay.
but we're gonna value that. We're gonna honor that for our customers.
Let's just hope corporate's not watching. Right?
Let's hope they're not
Because wink, wink, nod, nod. It'll be like 6 months in a day potentially for somebody.
Well, you're not open yet, and the dates could change, so there's got to be a little bit of wiggle.
Well, he's getting uncomfortable.
No, that's where though, like as the franchise owner or the franchisee, like what they'll tell you is well, that's on you if you want to go beyond.
Okay. So you're not getting in trouble.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'd hate to get you in trouble.
No. And then the other thing that we're doing as part of our grand opening is what I call 50% bonus deal, bonus days on daycare. So usually we sell like a 10-day, a 20-day, and a 40-day daycare packet, and each day that you buy is $3 off. So a 10-day packet is $3 off per day, a 20-day is $6 off per day, and a 40-day is $9 off. So what we're doing right now is that same discount, but then 50% bonus days. So if you buy a 10-day, you get 5 free days, 5 additional days. So if you average that out as a pre-opening, it comes to $21 a day, which is a great rate for daycare.
Wow. Feels like Roscoe has a new home.
Well, that is like talking about Rob having to go to the doghouse. You stay in the premium suite for under $100 a night.
It's a deal.
Yeah. And then our boarding is all inclusive. So what that means is
All inclusive?
your accommodation,
Give me
daycare,
that.
Wait. And if Rob says he gets food too?
and food.
And food.
And food.
Yeah.
So people don't bring their own food.
So
Typically they would. I would think.
we actually prefer they don't, and here's why. So
Interesting.
when you're boarding, it is going to be a little bit more stressful on a dog. And what happens is if a dog gets anxiety, they're going to have a loose stool. And so,
That's poop.
yeah. And so,
For those watching at home.
I've been there.
our food is
You got loose stool
specifically formulated.
Maybe after this.
It's specifically formulated for boarding facilities. It's a bland diet. It's made by Blue Buffalo. It's a chicken and rice based formula, and then we have a hypo version of that as well. If a dog's allergic to chicken, so we actually prefer people to use the house food, and if they're just not sure, then what I say is come in. We'll give you a sample, take it home, and see how your dog
That's fair.
likes it.
Well, that's the best. That dog, that's like the best kind of dog food you could get.
If they insist on bringing their home food, then we do a small fee, a $2 per feeding fee. If they will proportion the food out by feeding, AM and PM, and then we charge $2.95 if they just bring a bag of food in, and then my staff has to.
Then you
do
got
it.
to figure all.
I feel like I'm just going to bring my credit card and drop it off, and you guys will figure everything else out from there. Like,
Yeah.
just charge
That's
me.
what he's
Do you have a
right.
point system like hotels for you?
We don't have a point system, but we do like
The hotel.
we have.
He's trying to figure out how he can milk the system.
We have.
Do you have a bar there that I can go to?
Express that. I'm just
That's where I can. We have a referral. We do have a referral program. So $25 credit on your account for referrals.
awesome.
So those are our grand opening specials, and then each month that we post that for the first 3 months, I take the boarding specials away, and then I just focus on daycare specials, but it reduces. So instead of a 50% deal day, we do a 25% discount on packages in month 1 post grand opening, and then I drop that to 15, then I drop that to 10.
I got a question that's just burning in my head.
Oh, boy. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's not a bad question. It's just interesting. Like on the business model, what do you expect? Like not revenue, but like bookings compared to daycare compared to boarding? Like, do people actually drop their dogs off daily at daycare?
So when I built this business model, well, it depends on where you're at. If you're in like New Jersey, which is where they're located, you've got a lot of people that hop the train. They go to New York. They might live more in apartments and condos. They don't want to leave their dogs, and they're in a small space all day. So daycare sells out. Boom. Right? It's huge. And here, you don't know because we've got large yards. And so I built this business plan assuming about a 25% capacity on my daycare. But I think we're going to do way better than that. So right now, about, I'd say 3 out of 5 people that are contacting me are actually contacting me about daycare.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's another great question. So you think you're
hold on. The first one was a great question.
Yeah,
we'll only judge if it's a great question.
Yeah, I think he thinks he has the best questions too.
Here's another great question.
That was a good question.
The first one was good. Let's hear if this is a great one.
What the viewers want to know, Josh.
Matt, let's judge this one if it's a great question. Yeah, a lot of pressure now.
But I'll give you an example though on the daycare. So
You didn't like your question either.
A customer called the other day, and she works from home. She has a golden retriever. She said the golden retriever, I think she says, is just under 2 years, has lots of energy. She's like, I need the dog to be able to go to daycare for a few days a week while I do my work at home, and I still feel good about giving my dog somewhere to exercise. So that's why I think we'll actually do a little bit better than that based on what I'm hearing so far on customers calling. But I built it very conservative, not knowing.
Max, hold on, but I want to get back to this great question.
I had the question.
Now my brain is like on fire. Yeah, the show is yours. What's your great question?
The show is mine.
The show is not yours. But no, what the show wants to know.
The mic is yours.
Viewers want to know. Okay.
Here we go.
The viewers want to know. I mean, you're getting ready to open. Are you booking reservations currently? So someone book.
It's not a great question.
Yes, it is, of course.
Yeah,
I got a notification scheduled for the summer.
Pull that up.
Yeah. So
can I book now?
Yeah. Because we don't have our certificate of occupancy from the city of Rogers, I shut that. I have that part of my reservation system shut off. As soon as I get that, we open it up.
It was a good question. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good.
That's fair.
So it was good.
It's fair.
We're
I'll
pushing,
just put it like
permanent guest question.
Yeah. We're pushing.
Viewers want it now.
We're pushing real hard for, like I said, the end of. I really want to hit that spring break. And while around here, a lot of people already have spring break planned, but I'll still catch a little bit of that traffic, if you will, if I can get open by the 1st of March.
All right, Max, one last thing for you. Now, speaking of stool, because we were talking about loose stool before, we have a treat for you today, okay? As an avid business owner that's telling us his passion and commitment to dogs, Matt's got a treat that he would love for you to...
Yeah, let me...
we're unprepared. He had one job to do today.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to have it right out.
Is this to prove my commitment level?
Listen.
A little bit. This first one is how we wanted to see if Rob would let us know how these are.
Now, I mean, can you eat a dog treat, Max? Can you show us your commitment?
You want to try a dog treat?
Is that the chicken and rice one?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no fish in this, Rob, so I wanted you to try
Blue Buffalo dog treats, Max. I mean, show us your commitment.
Can the camera see this?
Oh, of course, Rob.
Woof.
So that was just a warm up.
You notice the host did not eat the dog treat, FYI.
Yeah, this is
No, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this as my $4 upgraded dog treat.
Well, I mean, you could have these up at the counter to give away to customers when they come in.
That's pretty good.
Now this next one,
this
is gonna
suspect.
We want to see the commitment level.
So when you said Rob was doing the pooper scoopering,
Yeah, Rob went and collected all these in his yard.
One yard or multiple yards?
Well, that was just 1 yard.
that looks like that dog ate a lot of nuts.
Let's see. Hold on. Wait. German Shepherd? Did I hit it?
It had to be a big dog.
That's commitment.
That's commitment. Max, thanks for coming in today and spending time with us. We're super excited. What's the website for people?
It is. Yeah, this is Don's job.
I'm sure we could put it up.
www.k, the letter K, number 9, resorts.com/Rogers.
Boom. Thanks again.
K9 Resorts. facebook.com/Rogers.
Boom.
Love it.
Thank you, Max.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.